Hey peeps, welcome back to Snail TV. Obviously on this episode we're going to be doing intake manifold. I don't know what I'm doing. Obviously that's how I start everything off. I just tend to pretty much just wing it, start tacking some stuff together and go with that. So you're pretty much going to be looking at me not knowing what to do and coming up with something. So obviously, as I explained on the last video guys, 50mm runners. We're going to do some chopping of the original intake bit. Obviously I've done chopping anyway, so it's a lot smaller anyway. And then we're obviously going to be making it into obviously a plenum. So let's make it fit. So let's go from here. Alright peeps, after a couple of days of a bit of time wastage and a couple of things, setting my son up with his Nintendo Switch and a couple other things, we've come up with an idea, a plan. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Do I run a cooler, do I not? Where to put the radiator, so on, so on, so on. So just, you know, hours and hours of just looking at it and actually figuring out what to do. You know, just looking at the other ways to do it. It's not really the money bit, it's more the is if it's gonna work. So we've come up with something. See if you guys can get an idea of what I'm going to try to do. Not try to do, but do it. Yeah, I think this would be the best way to achieve it as such. Yeah, it's just thinking. But anyway, okay, so what we've got an idea was, that's an XL6 turbo intercooler. You've seen how I join them together and make more airflow. So what I'm thinking about doing is joining just 2 together on this one. On the roll race I joined 3. That's only because that thing there is just an ice box. It is not actually a water to air intercooler. Well, you fill it up with a little bit of water, but it doesn't run through it as such. Anyway, so this one here, I'm gonna join 2. That's why I've got a bit of a gap there. Okay, and pretty much nip off the tops. All right. And because I've got 3.5-inch intercooler pipes, all right, so that's what I'm trying to think of. Okay, and then so that intercooler pipe's going to be coming up, going straight across on the other side and connecting to the turbo. Okay, now this is the thing of just trying to, all this is all to do with the manifold, intake manifold, because if I put that into a location where I don't know where it's going to go, that I can't, all this here stuff's up. So you sort of got to as such, step it out of what you're going to do. Okay, so then what I've got is to make the plenum, which I'll make in the plenum here. All right, it's only a small bit, only because I'm joining 2 pieces together, because I'm going to arch it back. Okay, just for like a smoother flowing plenum. Okay, throttle body though is going to be on this side, not the front side, on this side. All right, only because it needs to come out, it needs to go into the intercooler, and then from the intercooler it needs to go to the turbo. So that was my problem. I can bring this across, and then I can have the plenum there, and it can come straight into the plenum. But as I said, that's not intercooled. The only thing what I'm trying to do is trying to get the weight balance between that side and this side. So I need some weight on this side. That turbo there is probably about, I've got to weigh it, but probably about 10 to 12 kilos, all right? So I'm 12 kilos, let's say 12 kilos on that side. It's a bit more actually, but on that side, and I've got no weight on this side. And if I just make an intake manifold, it probably would only be a kilo, you know what I mean? So I would have it, that's what my whole thing is, just to balance the bike out. So the whole idea is to, as I said, you always make more power when you intercool the air, okay? Always, always, always. You can do so many other things. You can upstream it with methanol and that sort of stuff, but it will not be as good as a intercooler. So yeah, as I was saying, the plenum there and throttle body, and obviously 3.5-inch intercooler pipe like that. Okay, don't forget they're going to be a twin core here, so that's going to be very thick, and then it's going into the throttle body there. So alright, so from the turbo it's coming out into the top, this side, obviously going to the intercooler. That there is going to be plated both sides, and a little tiny tank on one side because it's going to be filled with water, and obviously a couple of fittings. Then from the fittings, obviously we can run it to wherever for a little mini cooler or something. But then I have, the biggest thing is the weight balance. Then I have the weight there. All right, guys. So I'm going to have, these things aren't light anyway. So I'm going to have 2 of these joined together, plus the weight of the water. And I think with all that, and obviously the plenum and also the throttle body, I think we're going to get pretty similar on the weight. Obviously I'm not a mathematician and I can't exactly pinpoint it, but we can almost do that with a couple other things with if how big that tank that we're going to put on there, and we can calculate how much water is going to go in there, and obviously you can do that. So that's what we've got. Okay, so what we've also done is I'm going to have the height of the intercooler exactly the same as the turbo on the other side, so you know what I mean, so it keeps the balance even as well, and the weight bias all good. Alright peeps, so we have come up with the idea. I showed most of the video just there. Really like it, really happy with it. Cleaned everything up. Opted to go for a bit of a shape on the front, only just so then it just didn't look so dorky, sticking real flat there. I'm going to have two XL6 turbo intercoolers joint together on the bottom. Alright, I still got to get the other one. I don't have the other one yet, but it'll be like somewhat like that, two together. And then obviously I'll weld the tanks on the ends and all that, just to make it the unit as one. I just like the size of them. They're real nice compact size. They're a pretty decent built intercooler. And yeah, they just I guess just work. They're just really nice. So as I said, I've used them all in my build. So really happy with that. Manifolds come out really nice. I've just literally real quick cut it out. The fairing. As I said, the fairings are all nice and loose, so just everything is getting ready, and then once it's all finished, we fiberglass the whole thing. So that doesn't matter, but it's more of getting the plenum organised at the moment. So waiting for the throttle body. Hopefully that rocks up this week. We can then weld on that plate, so weld on plate, and then obviously the throttle body bolts onto the plate. Obviously it'll be a V-band hanging onto that one. Then obviously I'm going to be coming into the end tank of these two intercoolers here. So yeah, that's what we're up to. So I've got these all tacked up and they're all pretty solid. Take you over to the table, we'll TIG them up, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, peeps, so as you can see, all welded up. Managed to get the fuel rail all welded back up as well, because that all got cut off. As you can see on this one here is actually brand new runners the whole way along. Obviously just the plate is the standard plate. I'll face that. I'll do that with a board file, nice and simple, with some fine paper. That's no worries at all. Poured it out inside there as well. As I said, I'll match that with the head a bit later on when we port the head. All inside is all nice. You see me weld it. Yeah, as I said, it's just a matter of learning of how to weld, and yeah, you'll get it, no worries. Only thing I need to do now is to organise what water port I want to use, and dash 12 I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with all on this bike as well, so we've got to go down that route. I'm going to pop this back onto the bike. We will need to wait for the throttle body to come, hopefully this week, guys, and then we can yeah, get it 100% finished. But that's all we've got time for, guys. So yeah, any questions, obviously, guys, let me know in the comments.